This is a reading of Brendas Blog titled, Soup's On. Dear ones, you are likely emotionally exhausted beyond anything you can describe to others. For the slightest change in your routine creates a special effort on your part, which you find disconcerting and exhausting. There are constant schedule disruptions and requirements this holiday season, as is true for most years. The difference is that this year, powerful energies are bombarding you. You are tired shortly after you awake, and yet, at times, unable to sleep once you allow yourself to succumb to that exhaustion. Perhaps some of you find yourself in action and exhaustion patterns similar to when your children were infants. So it is you are birthing yourself. There is nothing new in that last statement, for we of the universes have been informing you of the same for years. The difference is that the previous energies exploding about and through you were minimal compared to now. Such is so for a reason. Humans created both the anxiety and joy around this time of year. The seasons are shifting, as has always been true. And the same with astrological patterns. Through the years, humans added holidays and celebrations to what has always been of the earth. This year, these seasonal astrological annual events were given extra oomph by you and the universes as a result of your request to shift the earth rapidly near the end of this calendar year. Such is so because these natural earth events created the perfect soup for a major transition. It is as if you have contemplated creating this wondrous soup for eons, and in doing so, set aside the ingredients. You placed your soup pot on the stove when you began your transition, heating it to a slow simmer. Every transitional shift you experienced added another ingredient until all the ingredients were in the pot, cooking for a soon-to-be meal. Because your soup is now at full boil, you feel as if you are being tossed hither and yon, working overtime to finalize your soup creation. As is true for all recipes, there is an endpoint for your soup. That endpoint is near the first of your new calendar year. Even though our analogy is fun, it does not describe your fears that all is lost, that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, that never again will you feel settled or comfortable despite all we of the universes relay to the contrary. For the next few days, do not try to read yourself or anyone. Just be. For just as is true with a spicy soup, the individual ingredients do not seem that important until combined into a new whole. So it is for you and all now. Your human, new being ingredients are blending into a new whole. Some were initially part of the soup stock, forerunners, and others were added to the recipe required. Some near the beginning of the cooking process, your immediate followers, others as the ingredients were called for. All timed perfectly for the end product. A delicious soup of 5D and beyond humans. Perhaps you wonder why you needed to remain on the stove for such an extended amount of time. You forerunners are the stock, the starting point, and as you heat up with new energies, each following ingredient cooks or is prepared more rapidly. So you feel as if almost your entire life has been cooking on the stove, and that the newcomers may be as gifted as you but not as dedicated. You probably feel that the young whippersnappers have it too easy. We of the universes wish for you to maintain the image of you as a soup stock, requiring a longer cooking time. But those following, creating the final taste. They need you to finalize their product just as you need them to add to yours. There is no need to believe others are more or less talented than you in this new world. But to know instead, without one another, there would be no soup. So, it is time to put aside your discussions of right or wrong, of he said, she said. The ingredients you are now upset about will soon be the spices of creation. Allow it to be. And know that the amount of transition time is not important. For all of you decided at what stage you wanted to transition. You honed your talents for the time when you would add the most flavor, the most creativity to this wondrous new world soup. So be it. Amen.